You're listening to DraftKings Network.
This episode is brought to you by Honda. When you test drive the all-new Prologue EV, there's a lot that can impress you about it. There's the class-leading passenger space, the clean, thoughtful design, and the intuitive technology. But out of everything, what you'll really love most is that it's a Honda. Visit honda.com/EV to see offers.
Now's a good time to remember where the story of tequila started. In 1795, the first tequila distillery was opened by the Cuervo family. And 229 years later, Cuervo is still going strong. Family owned from the start, same family, same land. Now's a good time to enjoy Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. Go to Cuervo.com to shop tequila or visit a store near you. Cuervo, now's a good time. Trademarks owned by Becle, SAB the CV. Copyright 2024. Proximo. Jersey City, New Jersey. Please drink responsibly.
Shadow Show.
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 Shadowing it.
I don't know, Stugotz, if you heard what Chris Cody just said to what might have been just me, because I don't know if he was talking to both of us or just me in the headsets.
Right.
But our erstwhile executive producer just got done saying to me, as I saw Roy being fitted for a powdered wig, I don't really know what we're doing today. That's something that he just said to me.
Leadership.
Seconds ago. We're about to start.
It takes a real leader to admit that.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of people would fake it in this instance, and he's like, I don't know what's going on, man.
Wondering
Ready,
what
go.
happened. Like 2.5 months ago, I was informed that we wanted to do this great show that drove voter awareness, registration awareness, checking your status. And I was basically just told right then and there, Chris is not going to EP this show. You're going to EP this show. And I was like, why? But I kind of get it, given the stakes and given Chris.
Plus, I'm down the middle, so you don't know where I stand.
This show is also down the middle.
I'm gonna take all in the information today. Just take it in, digest it, swallow it, and then decide. When's the debate start?
It's important to be apolitical on a show like today because, quite frankly, even though personally I care who you vote for, I want people to get involved in the democratic process, and sometimes people feel like they're not as important to it. Please get involved because the stakes are pretty high, and that's what we're doing. So today's going to be completely apolitical. We're going to be joined by Steve Kerr.
Yeah. We are going to attempt before that to be apolitical. It's funny to think of us as apolitical while we're trying to revive something I thought was long dead, which is the telethon.
Apolitical what?
It's just one word.
Did you guys not think the telethon was dead? Is this a telethon? Are we doing a telethon?
Because it's a textathon, no?
It's being called a telethon, and I don't think we're doing those anymore.
You can't do a telethon without phone lines.
Okay, but there are texts. Is the modern, because we're asking people right now to text the word Dan to 57568, and all you're doing is registering to vote or checking your registration status. And we're going to give people, believe it or not, Stugotz, a chance to win a sports vacation where we're going to...
What?
Yeah, we're going to send somebody and a friend, travel, hotel, ticket, $500 of concessions and merch.
And you get to pick it.
You name the game and the team, yes.
Yes, except for playoffs. You pick the team, you pick when, and we will send you there. We'll fly you there. We'll give you $500 to spend. It's a great deal.
That's what Lucy does every weekend.
It's a chance to be Lucy. It's a chance to win. Now, when we say any game, it's not only just except for the playoffs. I'm assuming you can't go see Barcelona. Like, I'm assuming that you're not.
If you're saying any sporting event, yeah, right. It feels like a bribe anyway.
We can't use that word. Don't use that word. You didn't go to any of the meetings. That's a word
penalty box.
You cannot. Yes. Go ahead. Get out of here.
Really? I don't pre-show penalty.
Yeah, get out of here.
What's that number I texted? I want to win the prize.
Cannot say that.
Just tell me the number.
do that.
But I'm
Get
texting
outta
Dan
here.
right
No,
now.
you cannot say words like
Get
that.
out of here. You've been
Got a major penalty, 5 minutes, derailing.
Stay on
Text
message.
the number.
You don't know.
Check
you're
your
gonna get us in
status.
trouble. Just get out
Yes,
of here.
there's like rules.
Get out of here. Nobody wants your vote.
There's rules.
You don't vote. Don't vote.
Don't.
You. Everyone else vote. You don't vote.
Yeah, don't ever frame this as like an enticement to get involved here. Check your status. That's the important thing.
Just one quick thing. Red Rifle is back.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
I'm pretty sure that's unprecedented. The pre-show penalty where Stugotz gets sent away because he didn't go to any of the meetings where any of the planning for today was discussed. Our erstwhile executive producer went to those meetings, but still does not know what we're doing today.
It's a lot, man.
Seems confused. Well, it's a lot for a lot of reasons. I saw Lucy. She's right out there, but she's not on the show today, which is super strange. We've got sad, tired, and a bit angry Abraham Lincoln in the back row. He said before the show that he thought that the beard make Kirk Cousins. The beard makes somebody, and in this case, it does not, because it does not hide Abe Lincoln's sadness. You seem, for a costume, you don't seem very merry here on voter registration, National Voter Registration Day.
So I'm sick of doing important work and having you dressed ridiculously. But I also know that this is vulnerable. Having a telethon is tough. Doing important work is tough. And when you're unsure of yourself, you want eye candy. And I know you will automatically feel much better about a show if someone's dressed up.
Roy, what are you?
Barack Obama.
Duh.
So you put on a powdered wig, and so you're an old-timey Barack Obama, and you're being called Baroque Obama. Why? Just because it sounds like Barack?
I just do what they tell me to do, Dan, at this point. And they told me to wear a suit, and then they stuffed a wig on top of my head. So,
all just trying to get to the end of the play.
All right. This is what the play is. Okay?
I'm John Q. Public, in case you were wondering.
Nobody was.
And this
down the
counts
middle.
as a grid of death payoff.
I'm down the middle, Chris.
He's Joe the plumber.
Can we get our timing right, you think? You think we can get our timing right? As a group that's worked together before, you think we can get that right? Yeah?
No.
So I'm asking you to text the word Dan to 57568, or you could visit headcount.org/Dan. The entire show is going to be live today. And all we're trying to do is make sure that you register to vote or just even check your registration status. Headcount will make sure you get the information that you need. It's a nonpartisan organization, Headcount, and so that's what we're going to be doing all show today, and we're going to be live all show. We're not going to stop to tape anything. We're just going to keep going all the way through. You're going to get all your Andy Dalton information live.
I want to underscore checking your status, because there might be people listening to us right now that are pretty certain they're registered to vote. However, they may be living in a state that has all sorts of screwy rules, and maybe they're no longer eligible for absentee voting. So checking your status is the best way to make sure you're still good to go, because every state is different.
Thank you, Abe.
Yeah, anytime.
Text Dan, the word Dan, to 57568, and just get in the game here for your chance to win a legitimately good prize, a sports vacation from our show, the ability to be Lucy. Like I said, like Mike said, Steve Kerr is going to be on later in the show, and Keegan-Michael Key is going to join us here in moments. But I have something legitimately funny to bring you guys that I did last night. I don't know if you ever do this. How often do you leave a game that you have bet on before the end result and leave it as a treat for yourself in the morning, as you will learn in the morning whether or not you won your bet or not? How often do you guys do that?
Every time Hawaii plays a midnight game at home.
Me and who are you talking to? All the time. 80% of my action is happening in Southeast Asia.
No, I'm not. I think you guys aren't understanding the question I'm asking. I'm not asking you how often do you gamble on games you're not watching. I watched the Monday night game until there were 2 minutes left, and I have come in this morning purposely checking just the score. I don't know what happened at the end of that game, but I went to bed thinking I was going to win Eagles minus 5.5.
Right.
With a field goal. I checked out Stugotz. I have been using, I've had trouble sleeping over the last 2 years, and I've been trying a lot of holistic melatonin-type remedies in order to get better sleep. Mm-hmm. And at the 2-minute mark, I had nothing left. And so I'm like, you know what?
You were out of gas?
I'll find out in the morning how it is that I did. But where I left the game is what I thought was a really smart play by the Falcons at the 2-minute warning, on purpose, getting an offsides call so that you could automatically give Philadelphia the first down and not a 3rd and short or one of these things that they can get. And, they declined the penalty?
Nick Sirianni was like, no. I'm too smart for what you're trying to do. We want to decline. And then I'm not going to give it to a dude that's averaging 9.6 yards per carry and give it to Gainwell and turn it over on downs. That was lost by that coaching staff and Nick Sirianni, who appointed some of these coaches.
Yeah. Well, but before you get there, do you understand my confusion? So let me walk you through this.
You're wondering how you lost.
Stugotz, I didn't even see the penalty declined, okay? So I'm learning that now. I turned it off, and I'm losing the bet. Because at the time, the Eagles are only winning by 3, and I've got them minus 5.5. But they're clearly in field goal position. Atlanta's got all their timeouts. So I'm assuming Philadelphia is not going to get a first down. They're just going to run the ball 3 times and kick a field goal. They might try to get a first down and just end the game, but they're not going to throw the ball. That's not. There's no way they're going to throw the ball. They'll take the field goal and they'll make Kirk Cousins go the length of the field with 30 seconds left.
They threw the ball.
Well, so this is my confusion. So imagine my confusion this morning when I'm checking my phone just to see if the Eagles have won by 3 or by 6. That's all I'm checking for. And I'm looking through a foggy sleep. Wait a minute. How did the Falcons win that game? It's not possible that the Falcons won that game, not seeing it.
Eagles ran into a buzzsaw by the name of Primetime Kirk.
Yeah.
What happened? What did he do at the end of that game?
He grew a beard, and he looks like a different person, and all of a sudden, he's more confident. Growing a beard gave Kirk Cousins something that has eluded him his entire career.
Yeah.
Aura.
Yeah. Mike's right about that.
No, he had aura on that plane when he was wearing the chains in Minnesota.
I guess.
That was aura.
No,
shirtless. When he took off his shirt, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, well.
Hello.
How about Washington? How do you like me now? He had some aura there.
And it was, you like that.
Yeah,
that one.
What he said.
Is that a fine?
But everything that was confused.
How do you like me now?
Everything that was projected as aura was really just us laughing at Kirk Cousins. He was the butt of the joke.
Right.
But he grew a beard.
Yeah.
And now no one's laughing.
I know. Dan, what happened was on 3rd down, they threw a pass to Saquon Barkley that should have been caught, in all honesty. He dropped that pass. They then kicked the field goal, and the Falcons came down, and they won the game. But had he run the ball there, it would have run out a lot of the clock, not all of the clock. And it's the logical thing to do. And Nick Sirianni probably lost his job because Belichick is lurking.
Truth be told, Atlanta made it down the field so easily and quickly that I don't even think them milking the clock more would have mattered.
It was a double too much time left on the clock situation. Mm-hmm. And then Jalen Hurts threw a bad interception.
Yeah.
I'm legitimately surprised given the weekend of constipated offense that we saw and what I watched throughout the entirety of the game. How did Kirk Cousins go easily down the field? Is Billy blaming Fangs? Is he blaming Fangs?
Oh, Fangs just sucks.
Bad day for Fangs.
Wow. It's been a bad 2 seasons for him, really. He's lost it, right? Like whatever he had, whatever aura he had, I think is gone. I don't think anyone believes in him anymore. Do they? Does anyone?
Kirk looked different. He looked different in the 2-minute warning. When they have a full drive, they don't look the same. You get him with 2 minutes to go.
2-minute drill,
totally different.
Yeah.
And it was the beard that made him look so different.
Put it on the poll, Juju, at Batard Show. Did the beard give Kirk Cousins aura? And what else are you claiming about beards in general, Mike? Are you saying this should be on the poll as well?
Everyone should grow a beard.
But doesn't Sirianni have a beard?
Yeah, but there's just too much to overcome with him.
Right.
Well, what's not being mentioned here is the unsportsmanlike penalty at the end of the touchdown that sent that extra point 15 yards backwards.
Yeah.
Shooting the gun in the gun in the air. That's not a good look.
But they overcame it. I mean, it could have sent the game to overtime, Dan, and then you may have won against the spread.
What also is not being mentioned is, I think the first scoring opportunity the Eagles had on a 4th down, rather than kick a field goal to go up 3-0, they decided to go for it. They didn't get it. It's 0-0. Had they kicked that field goal and converted, then the field goal in the 4th quarter would have made sense because that puts you up 9.
All right, let's not keep this man waiting anymore. Please stop doing that. You're just going to do that with every coach every weekend. You're going to do that. Belichick, you're going to replace him with Belichick. Belichick was good on that Manning cast last night.
Philadelphia.
Belichick was bitter about Atlanta. Clearly and angrily bitter because they didn't hire him after 2 interviews. He's still holding a grudge. But let's not keep Keegan-Michael Key waiting any longer. We have not talked to him since we obsessed over that remake of Predator that he was in. And I legitimately believe this man is as talented as anyone who's doing anything in Hollywood. So I'm always thrilled when he makes time for us. He has been an advocate for voting rights, so he would tell you as well to text Dan to 57568 to be part of our register to vote, or check your registration status here on National Voting Registration Day. And he's also in Transformers 1. So, Keegan, it's nice to see you again. Thank you for making time for us. We have come a long way in these Transformer movies. This is an animated one, and it's getting great ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. We've come a long way from the Megan Fox days of Transformers.
Dan, good to see you. Good to hear you. I love everybody's amazing look here. Can I just talk about this? What's with the wig? I wanted to talk about this wig for a second.
I wish you wouldn't. You
wish I wouldn't?
Well, it's just a bad idea, poorly executed. But Roy, if you'd like to explain to a really talented person how to do entertainment poorly the way we're doing it, please explain why you're wearing a powdered wig.
I am supposed to be Barack Obama. And I was told to dress up in a suit and wear a wig today. So, yeah.
So you did execute. You did execute it.
I
followed order. Yes. So you actually. I love the word execute because it sounds like someone has done it well, whether they've done it well or not. You just say, I executed the order. But I mean, okay, now I'm satiated. My curiosity is satiated.
Yeah, no questions about Abraham Lincoln, though? No questions about sad, angry Abe Lincoln?
I'm pretty straightforward.
Sad, angry Abraham Lincoln.
What question would you have?
You look like a vicomte from Dangerous Liaisons. That's what he is. Exactly. Like he should be going to a duel or something like that. It's funny. We have come a long way. I was trying to figure out that first Megan Fox, Shia LaBeouf. Was that 2007?
I don't know.
I think that first movie was 2007, and so it's been. This universe has been around for quite a long time. The interesting thing is, it's actually been around. If you're someone like my age, it's been around for 40 years. Because I used to watch the cartoon when I'd come home after school in 1984. And it's been a real fantastic and it's been an honor really to be added into this franchise, especially during this film.
I figured you'd be too old. Weren't you a teenager about the time that you're talking about there?
I was a teenager. I think so in 84. So in 84 I was 13. So I was watching it. Yeah, I was coming home from junior high and watching the show. And then I also went to go see the animated movie in 1986. I went with my friend Dave McFarland. I still remember my buddy from high school, and we went together to go see the movie, and we were super excited. And the most jazzed thing we got like hyped up about was that somebody swore in the movie. And it was a really random off-camera swear. There was like this one human character who used it, like cursed. And we were both in the movie theater going, "What? He just said the S word." It was crazy because it was this random thing in the middle of this animated movie. Right in the middle of this animated movie, this guy just drops an S bomb. which you don't hear very often. Everybody drops an S-bomb almost every day.
I always have a lot of questions for you about your career, and but I will play a clip. Let's play a clip here of the movie Transformers 1 that features his character. And I will say, I don't even know if he's a classically trained actor, but he does song and dance and can do Broadway and can do anything in acting.
I imagine that might be highly offensive if he actually is.
Well, I just don't know.
I believe he might be.
I just don't know if he's got classical training, but he comes off as somebody who absolutely does.
I am a classically trained actor, so there is that.
We are now playing the clip right now. We are playing.
Did you start out in the theater?
He's just standing there looking like smug Abraham Lincoln. He's like, I believe he is classically
Did you start out in the theater?
I'm sorry. I got in the way of the clip. I'm sorry.
Theater.
I was just going to do an assassination joke. Just get it moving.
Let's play the clip here for the classically trained Keegan Michael Key.
You can call me B or Badassatron. It's a nickname some of the guys gave me. I don't know. I didn't give it to myself or anything. Actually, it's pronounced Badassatron.
Have you done a lot of voice work like this? Have you done a lot of voices in movies? It's a different kind of acting, right?
It is. It's a completely different animal. But I've done several animated films, and I've done a lot of voice work, which is really fun because you kind of get to be a little more exaggerated when you do animated work and voiceover work, because you're trying to vocally match how exaggerated the cartoon looks. And so it kind of gives you license to be really broad and go overboard. But what was interesting is I find myself, when I do a lot of voiceover work, trying to give myself a challenge to cover up my voice or disguise my voice with, a lisp or an accent or something. And in this one, it's really kind of bare bones. It's really just me. It's kind of like a higher, energetic, youthful version of me, but it's still really kind of just me.
Do you have a kind of work that you enjoy the most? I don't know. I imagine that most people want to talk to you about Key and Peele, but I don't know what you would say is the thing that you like doing the most.
I absolutely loved being on Key and Peele. There's no doubt about that. But the thing I love doing the most is live theater. And I think probably because you get instant feedback from the audience. I mean, when you're making a film or a television show, you can be having fun with your colleagues and your coworkers, but you can only guess how well it's going to be received by an audience at home or in the movie theater. Whereas when you're there live with the people, there's this wonderful synergy between you and the other actors, you and the audience, you and the crew. It's such a wonderful, exhilarating experience. It's like sports. It's like you're playing the game of the play. And that's something that I really enjoy, probably the most.
Live theater. Not a fan.
Not a fan. Well, you haven't seen the right shows. That's what it is. You just haven't seen the right shows.
I'm a fan. Abe Lincoln's not a fan of live theater because of what happened to him.
I missed it. Yeah. Of course.
It's okay.
Well played.
He got shot in the head.
Right.
John Wilkes Booth.
He was killed,
Yeah.
There
At the
was
old
that.
Ford Theater. Yes, sir.
When people want to talk to you about your roles, what are the things that they want they want to talk to you about the most?
Absolutely, number one always is the substitute teacher. They want to tell me that they have a friend named Balake or Jay Quellen or D Nice, or my name is people say, my name is Aaron. You ruined my life. Thank you. So that's usually the thing that thing caught wildfire years ago, and it's still going strong. And there some kind of magic happened, and we're not sure why, but we love it, and I think we're blessed that it's taken on a life of its own. So that's the thing people talk about the most.
When you say you don't know why, when you were in these things, did you know? Because I imagine it was a lot of fun to do that and enormously hard work as well in a way that people might not understand.
Yeah, it's interesting that, Dan, one of the things that's so fascinating about our job is that there's very little science to it. You never know what's going to catch fire. And the only thing I could ever put my finger on, the two most popular sketches on Key and Peele are both about names. It's about switching people's names, changing people's names, or highlighting the fact that people have unique names. And I don't know what to attribute that to. I'm not an anthropologist, or a psychologist, so I don't really have a take as to why. But there must be something. The thing is that sometimes the stuff that you have the most fun doing will be the least popular thing, and sometimes something else that you do, you go, oh, that was pretty good, and then it somehow blows up. There's really no rhyme or reason to it.
You never know. You never knew. You never knew breaking up laughing and doing something that would be the one that echoes.
I never knew, because I remember when we did that substitute teacher sketch, I remember thinking this is a super solid sketch. And at that point in time in my life, I'd been doing sketch for 12 straight years. And I thought to myself, this is a really good sketch. I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to play it. I actually thought to myself, I'm going to play it as seriously as I can. I try not to wink at the comedy, because it's always very important to me to remember that the characters in the sketches or the movies or the TV shows, whatever I'm doing, they don't know they're in a comedy. So you have to remember that they don't know. They're just living their lives. And we didn't break up a lot. We improvised a ton in that sketch, but we didn't break up. We didn't laugh a ton. It just was like really well done. We had no idea that it was going to get into the public consciousness this way. And then there are other sketches that I did where I thought, God, this is so much fun. It's got to go well. And it did. So, yeah, there have been times. There actually have been times, now that you mention it.
Well, how about this one? Because Barack Obama, the actual Barack Obama, not our unreasonable facsimile in a powdered wig, I want to put side by side in B-roll here. You guys were making fun of, and it was funny, of Barack Obama. Jordan Peele was handshaking and dapping up white people and black people differently. And Barack Obama, go ahead and run that for Keegan-Michael Key so that people can see that Barack Obama seemed to be doing this with NBA basketball players on purpose, but I'm not totally sure that he was it's the same thing. So tell us what you're watching here, how he shakes Steve Kerr's hand and how he shakes everybody else's hand.
I love that somehow, I don't understand why, but I love how somehow Steve Kerr is more black adjacent than the other coach. The other coaches, like that Steve gets the hug. It's so funny to me that, and I think, maybe I'm being naive, but I feel that what the president is doing, the former president is trying to make everybody feel culturally comfortable. And so it's actually, he's like physically code switching, which is it's a fascinating cultural phenomenon that we have. But anybody, it's funny. I'll meet other black people and it's like, it's hugs all around, a complete and perfect stranger. And it's just hugs all around. And he knows what I'm talking about. Powdered wig Obama knows what I'm talking about.
Do you miss Key and Peele at all, or is it you're all about growth in your work? It's obvious. So is that something that you miss, or did it live and do its useful thing for you, and then you moved on to other things?
I think the way that you just put it is perfect. I think that it lived its useful life. Key and Peele always holds a place in my heart. It's very special to me and to my life and what it's done in my career and helped me do in my career. With that said, if there was, if there ever was talk of a reunion, I would probably more than likely say yes to that. I enjoyed working with Jordan so much, and we enjoyed each other professionally and creatively on such a profound level that I would love to do it again. But it was a season in my life, and I think it kind of served its purpose.
Have you talked to him about whether he'd be as interested in that as you are? Because everybody would love that.
We have discussed it. We've talked about it lightly, I should say. And he kind of is where he is, and I am where I am. But if I remember correctly, the last time we discussed it, Jordan said everything in its right time. So if the time comes back and it seems like it's right for us to do it again, it'll present itself, like the universe will present it, and then we'll pursue it. So yeah, we do discuss it sometimes. I was just with him this last weekend. We had dinner and with our wives and had a wonderful time. And I miss him because I live in New York. He lives in Los Angeles. So I miss him. So if that opportunity came up and it was right, I believe we would do it again.
Transformers 1 is in theaters this Friday. I really will watch him, whatever he's doing, because he is so wildly creative. Stugotz wants to ask you a sports question.
Well, I asked the important questions, okay? What do the Lions have to do to bounce back and beat the Cardinals this weekend?
I think, first of all, Aiden Hutchinson, I think that those 4.5 sacks came at just the right time. I think it boosts his confidence because I think he'll stay after Kyler, and I think that he'll get to him a couple times. I mean, I know how nimble Murray is, but I think he'll get to him a couple times. This is how I chalk it up, and this is not it's just my own personal opinion. I just think that Jared had an off day, much like he did last season during the Thanksgiving game. He just had an off day. And those last throws at the end of the fourth quarter, like when the clock was going down, it was just like they were lackluster. I think that when that happens to him, he always bounces back. It really kind of was on his shoulders. He just wasn't having a great performance. And I think he's going to be fine. That was
a disaster. They were one for 7 in the red zone. How do you get only 16 points when you've got 463 yards?
Yeah, that is a conundrum, and that is a concern of mine. But I feel like the bounce back is going to happen this week. I feel like it could be a shootout, and sometimes I think Ben Johnson thrives during a shootout. So I think it could be a shootout. I'm thinking about those two secondaries, and if everybody slots in where they need to, it's going to be a really entertaining game. My God, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Yes.
This kid just arrived.
Yes.
It's always nice seeing you.
He did arrive. I was debating that yesterday.
Yes, always nice seeing you. Always nice talking to you. Again, Transformers 1 in theaters this Friday. Thank you, Keegan. Nice seeing you.
Thank you. You too, Dan. It's always a pleasure. Take care, Stugotz.
See you, buddy.
Hey DraftKings fans, are you ready to elevate your game day snacking experience? This college football season, we're feeling the cheesiest with Cheez-It. That's right, delicious Cheez-It crackers not only satisfy your snack cravings for game day excitement, but they're also amplifying your football watching experience with a new daily fantasy sports game. Best of all, since Cheez-It is made with 100% real cheese, the game is 100% free to play with a chance of winning real cash. Be sure to carefully select your favorite Cheez-It flavor to snack on. White cheddar, extra toasty, or maybe you're an OG fan, while you select your weekly players for college football's cheesiest challenge all season long. So snack and play like a champ with Cheez-It.
Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com/Cheez-It for full details.
Hey, it's Roy from the Dan Le Batard Show, and did you know that there's one phase of sleep that almost everyone fails to get enough of? This phase is crucial. It's responsible for your body's daily rejuvenation. It controls hunger, weight loss, hormones, it boosts energy, and so much more. I'm talking about deep sleep. Like many of us, I struggle with sleep, and I know Juju and Cynthia from Mystery Crate do as well. Every night, it's the same thing. The longer it takes to fall asleep, the more stress I get, knowing I'll be exhausted the next day. And one major reason people miss out on deep sleep is magnesium deficiency. Over 80% of us are lacking it. Magnesium increases GABA, promoting relaxation at the cellular level, and helps regulate your body's stress response system. That's why I recommend Magnesium Breakthrough. It's the only supplement with all 7 forms of magnesium to help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed. Don't miss out on the most relaxing sleep ever with Magnesium Breakthrough. For an exclusive offer, go to bioptimizers.com/Dan and use promo code DAN during checkout to save 10%. And if you subscribe, not only will you get amazing discounts and free gifts, but you will also make sure your monthly supply is guaranteed.
Hello, universe. It's Cynthia from the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. Let's be real. Stress is everywhere. I mean, what are my stressors? I don't know. Maybe Dan texted me at 3 a.m. to order him a costume that he needs tomorrow. But what if the secret to managing all this stress is Magnesium Breakthrough by Bioptimizers? This is a one-of-a-kind product. It's designed to reverse low levels of magnesium, which could be causing a multitude of other health problems. What sets Magnesium Breakthrough apart, it's its ability to maintain healthy stress hormones, balancing your nervous and hormonal systems, and boost the neurotransmitter that promotes relaxation and flow. In other words, it's like hitting the brakes on my body's stress response, helping me feel calmer and improving my quality of life. It's the only organic, full-spectrum full-spectrum magnesium supplement that provides all 7 essential forms of magnesium to help you truly manage stress and improve your sleep. Don't miss out on the most relaxing sleep ever with Magnesium Breakthrough. For an exclusive offer, go to buyoptimizers.com/Dan and use promo code Dan during checkout to save 10% off. And if you subscribe, not only will you get this amazing discount and free gifts, but you will also make sure your monthly supply is guaranteed.
Dan Le Batard. We're gonna win. Stugotz. We're gonna win.
They're annoying.
What an old reference.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Let's get back to sports here. Diana Rossini is the senior NFL insider for The Athletic. She's got a new podcast with Chase Daniel. It's very popular. It's very good. Scoop City is what it's called. And she's also our working mom insider.
Oh, yeah.
One of the very few, I think, are there any other working mom insiders doing the Schefter Woj thing of 20 hours a day? I have to be connected to my phone at all times.
I know. I was checking out my screen time the other day just to look at it, and I was like, this is so bad. This is really bad. This is unhealthy for my brain. This is unhealthy for my lifestyle. I mean, most moms are managing the screen time of their own children, right? Because you just stick that iPad in front of them so you can do something, accomplish anything. I need to manage myself at this point. So no, I don't think anyone's doing it, although I do think moms and dads that are working in the NFL space kind of feel this commitment to having to be on all the time. I mean, just look at the Panthers yesterday. Out of nowhere, we were shocked that the Panthers made this decision to bench Bryce Young. I did not see that coming. I don't think anyone did. Does it make sense when you talk about the Carolina Panthers doing this after 2 games? I mean, yes, but in the moment, if you're just spending your Monday afternoon doing whatever it is that you're doing and you cover the Carolina Panthers and that breaks, your whole life is in shambles. And mine was too yesterday.
Well, I was texting with you recently and you were doing your job and you said to me, hey, I got to get back to you because one of my kids put my wallet in the microwave. So, I mean, what are you doing? Explain that to us.
Because you guys have known me so long, I'm just a walking hurricane, right? So the way I can keep myself organized is I have a wallet that goes on my cell phone. You know what I mean? So I keep my license and my credit cards on my phone. I never take it off, ever. I always keep my phone in that case. And for whatever reason that day, I decided to take the wallet off of the phone. So I took the case off and put my phone on a charger and went back into the kitchen where my sons were just getting ready for dinner. And my oldest, my 3-year-old Mikey, took the case, put it in the microwave, and it's like toddler height, threw it in there, pressed start, and walked away. I didn't know that he did that. Oddly, right around that time, my little guy likes to blow out candles because he thinks it's everybody's birthday every day. So he had just blown out a candle just as this is all happening at the same time. My husband comes in the house. He goes, what's all this smoke? I go, oh, Joey blew out the candle. He happy birthday to whomever it was that day. And he said, no, there is a lot of smoke. A lot. So he opens up the microwave and the phone case and all my credit cards caught fire. And truthfully, guys, I just think that was my son rebelling. I think he was he associated that wallet with my phone. It was I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm over this thing. I'm going to cook it.
That's funny and sad and terrible.
Well, the first question I asked her was, is the phone okay? Not the kids.
Yeah,
is the phone okay?
The other one, the one that's not putting things in the microwave, Joey, is regularly playing with fire and candles.
I never thought about that being a concerning issue, but I'm glad that, this is why.
Chasing down Bryce Young stories. I mean.
It's a group effort. It is a group effort to manage these children while I'm doing this job because I never considered the fact that it is very bizarre, odd, and unsafe that every day after school, I let my son blow out the candle in our kitchen because he just loves birthdays. He loves his own, too, because every time we have to do the fake song just to keep him happy. And we just say, happy birthday to Joey. So technically, Joey's 190 right now, based on how many birthdays we've celebrated. But the collision course, Dan, of all of it, just the fact that I allow the 1-year-old to blow out the candle, the 3-year-old's cooking my phone, my career's probably cooked now because of it, and I'm sure Child Protective Services will be.
I'm not even kidding when I ask you what level of panic sweeps over you when you can't have a phone for however many hours, a phone with all of your contacts. I know you could back it up, and I'm sure you've backed it up. Well, no, you didn't back. Tell me you didn't back it up.
What?
So recently I checked that because I had another situation where my phone was in my pocket and I was picking the boys out of the tub and it fell out of the pocket and went right into the water. And we've all been there, right? You've all dropped them in the toilets, in the sinks. Every human being has been there. And you're like, no! And I pulled it out and I ran downstairs to find a bag of rice, do the good old rice trick. You all know that now, right? You stick your phone in rice, you let it sit there for a few hours, and I'm just praying and hoping the phone goes on. And my husband goes, what are you freaking out about? We'll get you another phone. You have all your stuff backed up. I'm like, Kev, I don't think I have it backed up. I don't remember the last time I did it. It's like, oh my gosh. Well, the phone turned on, thank goodness. So between that moment and the fire, we did back it up. So I'm good. But I will say the fact that even my own husband's reaction when he pulled the microwave open, right, to go, what is in here? What is this? What is on fire? He's like, Diana, it's your phone case. Oh my God, your phone. I'm like, no, don't worry. My phone's in the other room. So the parental guidance here is not going well because everyone is very concerned about my phone and not the safety of my children. But I will say Mikey now walks by the microwave every day and goes, smoke, smoke. I'm like, yep, smoke, Mikey.
So you just left the kids in the bath? I mean...
Oh, yeah. They're safe there. Water's safe.
Water and fire, both of them, totally safe. Put it on the poll at Batard Show. Have you ever dropped your iPhone in the toilet?
Oh, the worst.
You mentioned Bryce Young and the shock of that, and I saw a lot of people trying to be very supportive yesterday with the idea of his career is not over. But he better be awfully strong given what the Panthers have done to him, like in terms of his grooming in this sport, because I feel like it could be done if he's not really strong.
So I've got a couple issues with the situation there. And we could probably spend the whole show going through this organization in a deep dive in terms of the stuff I know and the stuff that you guys can just casually see as viewers of the game and seeing how they're making these decisions, starting with just the infrastructure, how this organization has been built. It's easy to laugh and say, what a joke. But the reality is it's not run well, starting from the top with David Tepper, who is involved in all of this. And Dave Canales was brought in here to fix the quarterback and to improve it after he went through a lot in his first season with Frank Wright at the helm and a lot of different voices in his ear. So here we are now headed into week 3. They benched their number 1 overall pick. But I just think we need to highlight that we're talking about the number 1 overall pick 2 years ago. There were discussions happening all across the league. Should the Panthers go for Bryce Young? Should the Houston Texans perhaps go for Bryce Young, knowing that they wanted a quarterback in this draft? So how quickly things have changed. So you're telling me now Bryce Young is broken after everyone in the league said this kid was amazing, that he was great in the meeting rooms, in the classroom, on the field. Now he's too short. His build is too frail. He's not big enough. His footwork is horrendous. What happened? What happened between the draft and right now that it's this bad?
The Panthers happened.
The Panthers did. And it's correct. And look, there's going to be some accountability from Bryce Young here too. There has to be in terms of what did he not do? And you have to put yourself in his shoes, which is why I think he needs to go to the front office and say, I want to trade. Like, I don't know if this is beneficial for the organization, but what you guys have put me through here, it's not right. It's not fair. So now you have to think of this or look through the prism of the team of, all right, well, what are we doing? And I've had people ask me too, well, maybe this is a mental rest. Maybe they're just going to take a break, work on him, improve him. No. That is not, you don't do this. You don't make a move like this to just take a mental break here, siesta, to figure out how he's going to get back, because the mental damage is going to be there. It's there. They obviously haven't been able to find an answer. And so now it's Andy Dalton's team.
Did you enjoy Belichick as much as I did on the Manning cast yesterday? Not just that he had the space to break down football in a way I'm not hearing anywhere on television, because there's not the space for it for someone to be as brilliant as Belichick is in that space. But also because he clearly is mad still that the Falcons interviewed him, made him interview twice and didn't hire him.
I'm so glad that you saw right through that, because I don't think everyone did, because I saw a lot of responses to him talking about that game and Atlanta. And I think Bill is brilliant and he can play a mental chess match with anyone. And I think it was tough for him. All right. I think the temptation was, Peyton put him right there, just set him up beautifully to be like, let it rip, Billy, let it rip. And he did. Yeah. Is there frustration from Bill Belichick's point of view that he had this job? Guys, this thing was moving in the direction I was reporting. Bill Belichick is going to be getting this job after a couple more meetings. He was getting his staff together. And then all of a sudden, it was a Saturday afternoon, I got a call. And this thing just shifted. Straight up hard right turn. And you have to wonder what happened. Well, Bill knows what happened. There were voices in the ear of the owner that prevented him from making that decision, Arthur Blank, from saying Bill Belichick is taking over the team. And the voices won. And Bill was on TV last night talking to him about that, because he knows and he wanted the world to kind of know, yep, that was my job, and they messed it up.
Bob Kraft was one of those voices, according to the reporting of Don Van Natta and others.
Yeah, I think Rich McKay had a big say there. He has a lot of juice in that building. I think there were a lot of people who did not want Bill Belichick to take over their organization, because that meant that they were going to be out of a job. And I don't know. I am not an expert on, did the Falcons make a mistake by not hiring Bill Belichick? I can just tell you what I know in terms of how it was tracking. And so it goes from Bill Belichick to so close to getting this job to now walking around the link with Matt Patricia right behind him, which, by the way, Matt Patricia, onions, walking around the link after you were fired just 7-8 months ago. I think that's wild that he had such courage. I don't even like to go to Philly after a loss, and I have nothing to do with it.
But he's with Belichick.
The general energy, just the energy of it.
Yeah, I just don't want to be around those people. Like, even just this morning, my husband said 2 words to me. He's an Eagles fan. And I'm like, this can't be a thing. Like, I don't want to be the household that is shaped by the result of a football game. Like, A, grow up. B, you're a father. I don't want our children having a culture where mommy and daddy's tone in this house is based on the result of the Philadelphia Eagles. Who cares? So stupid.
Isn't it a case, though, where while we don't want daddy to be moping around because the Eagles lost, we also don't want mommy moping around because she missed the call on some offensive coordinator breaking news?
And the house is on fire.
I bring it up all the time. I say, I don't care about the wins and losses.
Right.
All this house should be focused on is how to give me ability to do my job at a better level. I've asked him to quit. I'm like, I don't care about your job. I don't care about your career goals. I don't care that you work 50 hours a day.
Poor
and
guy.
That you have contributed really. He gives everything to the company. He works for Shake Shack. He does so much for this company. I want him to quit, but he won't do it because something about just like personal growth or something.
Hey, y'all, it's Mike, and as you know, it is football season, the all-consuming football season. You live it, you breathe it, and you want to watch it as much as possible, both on your TV, but also sometimes you want to be a part of that atmosphere. But guess what? You don't have tickets. It's a sold-out event. What are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you exactly what you do. You download the Game Time app. For my money, it's the best app on that secondary ticket marketplace for a ton of reasons. But one of the reasons I want you to check it out for is this awesome new feature called Game Time Picks. It makes getting your tickets to see your favorite teams play even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Do it yourself. Pick an upcoming game on the app. Browse through the seats. I'm telling you right now, you'll love Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time.
Now's a good time to remember where the story of tequila started. In 1795, the first tequila distillery was opened by the Cuervo family. And 229 years later, Cuervo is still going strong. Family owned from the start, same family, same land. Now's a good time to enjoy Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. Go to Cuervo.com to shop tequila or visit a store near you. Cuervo, now's a good time. Trademarks owned by Becle, SAB, the CV. Copyright 2024. Próximo. Jersey City, New Jersey. Please drink responsibly.